This conversation with Professor Swapan Pramanik, who is sitting just in front of me, is a part of a wider ISS plan to collect information and experiences of very senior sociologists of the country in order to know how actually they have faced their experience of the discipline and how actually they have proceeded with the challenges that were there when they were initially starting the discipline. So with the process of institutionalization, along with the research endeavor and along with the personal experience in dealing with the sub-discipline, this will be basically being discussed here, and we are really grateful to Professor Pramanik for sharing this time with us. This strategy of collecting information and knowledge base from a senior member is a part of a strategy being developed by the president of ISS, Professor Maitri Chaudhary, and we are also thankful to Professor Chaudhary for thinking in such a loud way. As you know, the Professor Pramanik has been a sociologist known in Bengal. He was there a professor of sociology at the University of Calcutta. He was also the vice chancellor of Vidyasagar University for 2 terms, and then he became the president of Asiatic Society for certain period. He was also the president of West Bengal Sociological Society that we formed in 90s. So with such a vast experience of institutionalization, research, conducting research and producing students like me, we are very grateful that Professor Pramanik at his very senior age has agreed to talk to us and share his experience. Over the last 5 decades, Professor Pramanik has produced not only students like me, he has also written magnum volume like Sociology of G.S. Ghurye, which is taught and read widely across India. So he has a very root in Indian sociology, understanding Indian sociology, Indian society, Indian social stratification and Marxist sociology. I must also thank Swapan Ghosh, who is helping us in videographing the whole thing and editing the whole process. I must also thank Sudeshta Basu Mukherjee of Calcutta University for helping us in this endeavor. So, sir, let me begin the discussion with your personal experience.
Thank you, Professor Ghosh, for your nice and kind introduction. Actually, I was in the Department of Sociology right from the beginning.
Okay, sir.
In the sense that the department started in 1978.
Okay.
Technically from the 1977 session, but 78 it started, and right from the beginning I was there. Thank you for taking this type of project, and your president of the Indian Sociological Society, Maitri, called me. She apprised me about this project. I encouraged her because it will give us an idea about who is who in the world of sociology in India all around. So this is a very ambitious project and aimed at familiarizing the present generation about the sociologists who worked so long in India. So let us begin with what is your question then?
It's not a question type answer sort of thing. I mean, it's a kind of conversation.
Yes.
I will be opening up certain areas of his knowledge base. Let me begin with your personal and intellectual journey. Now, the first issue that we would like to know is what actually brought you to sociology?
Actually, this is a funny thing. At the time we were students, I'm talking about the 60s and 70s, there was no institutionalization of the discipline of sociology in Bengal.
Right.
There was a sociology department only in one university, that was Calcutta University, which started earlier. But apart from that, there was no such department of sociology. But having said that, I do not mean that the tradition of sociological thinking or sociological way of dealing with the problems, social problems, was absent in Bengal. If you look back at the 19th century thinkers like Ramon Rai,
Yes.
Ishwar Vidyasagar, Kumar, and most notably Gurudev Mukhopadhyay.
Yes.
They were not sociologists in the strict sense of the term, but they were sociological thinkers or social thinkers.
Yes, sir.
And my professor Bela Dattagupta has written an excellent research work on sociology in India.
Right, sir.
And in that work, she has exhaustively discussed the role of 19th century social thinkers.
Yes, sir. We have all read that.
Yes, and she has called the period, called those persons as proto-sociologists.
Yes.
Proto-sociologists, not sociological in the strict sense of the term, but those who try to infuse sociological thinking, social thinking in their minds. So they helped in developing a type of tradition which facilitated the introduction of the discipline of sociology. Having said that, as far as Calcutta University was concerned, and Calcutta University at that time was the only university in Bengal, other universities came much later. Having said that, sociology or social thinking or social studies, these were a part of other disciplines, these were incorporated in other disciplines. For example, in economics, there was a paper on social studies, and I have personally seen a question paper of Calcutta University MA Economics, where social studies was a paper in that subject, and that was for the year 1910-1911.
Okay.
It's much earlier,
Yeah.
the beginning of the 20th century. And the questions which are there, I was a teacher at that point of time, being engaged in the teaching of sociology, but I must confess that it would have been very difficult for me to answer those questions.
Okay.
But
Right.
so the standard was so high. The
Yes.
standard was so high. Later on, there is a part of tradition that when the political science department was introduced, sociology was a part of a paper in that political science
Right.
subject. And political science was introduced in 1949-50 in that year in Calcutta University. Before that, it was economics only,
Right.
and political science was a part of economics.
Right.
That type of thing we note at the undergraduate, at the school level studies. So that was there. So we carried that tradition, reading sociology as a part of political science.
Yes.
And I don't know whether you are aware of it. My basic degree is in political science,
Okay.
having honors, having post-graduation in political science. But in political science, there was a special paper group.
Okay.
There were two groups of special papers which were available for us. One was international relations, and the other was sociology.
Okay. Quite interesting.
That's the way we became interested in
Okay.
sociology.
Okay.
And as it happens, I was in two minds whether to choose in favor of international relations or sociology, because we are asked to exercise our choice in that respect. So I was a bit hesitant, and I asked one of my friends who was a first class first in at the undergraduate honors level, Jayanto. So I asked Jayanto what to do, which special paper to choose, because there is international relations and sociology.
Okay.
Jayanto's answer was so dramatic
Okay.
and so precise that I will never forget in my whole life. What he said that between international relations and sociology, you see, Swapan, there can be a sociology of international relations,
Oh, quite interesting.
but you cannot have an international relations of sociology.
Okay. So the answer itself was predictable. Okay.
So that clicked to my choice in favor of the discipline of sociology.
Right.
So that was how I was initiated in this subject right from the beginning at the MA level.
Okay.
At the MA level.
So yeah, I understand. That happened with many of us, in fact. I also did my honors in political science, but had a paper on sociology, and therefore that influenced me.
Yes.
So the next issue would be, how do you think sociology helped you after you took sociology as a special paper? How actually it helped you?
Yes, having been initiated into that discipline, I see that it is not only interesting, but it is also relevant in many ways for an undeveloped society like India. So, not only that, I became interested in the discipline as I proceeded to study it deeper and deeper, but my students also, all along, and they maybe that their first choice was accidental, but then when they delved deep into the subject, they developed interest, they developed expertise, and many of them, like you are one of them, chose to make sociology as a career choice. So that was how it was introduced.
Can you remember any moment when sociological thinking became so loud in your life that you could think much in a wider fashion? Any particular moment, any particular thinker, any particular, like you told us about your friend. So when you were studying sociology, any particular moment when sociological thinking in fact transformed your perspective?
Look here, I told you about the 19th century social thinkers, but apart from that, there was also another element of sociological tradition which was developed in another discipline in the Calcutta University. That was the anthropology.
Anthropology, Kumar, right? So
Yes.
you know.
And in anthropology, along with many choices, special paper choices, there was one group which was known as social anthropology. And you know that in an Indian context, as Andre Pitej has correctly said, that in the Indian context, the social anthropology and sociology, they travel so much together that it is very difficult to distinguish one with the other. So Nirmal Kumar Bose was there, though he was formally associated with the discipline of Department of Geography in Calcutta University.
Okay.
In Calcutta University. But I had my tradition in political science also, and Nirmal Kumar Bose was the personal secretary of Mahatma Gandhi, and I had the opportunity to go through Nirmal Bose's diary.
Okay.
So these things made me interested in Nirmal Kumar Bose, who I think was a social anthropologist and a sociologist in that sense of the term. So if you ask me, apart from the 19th century thinkers, it was Nirmal Kumar Bose and his thinking. He was not my contemporary, but when I started my career in the discipline of sociology, Nirmal Kumar Bose was alive. He was very much active, and I came in touch with him, and he influenced me very much.
Quite interesting, quite interesting. Was there any text or apart from Nirmal Kumar Bose, any other thinker who influenced your thinking?
Subsequently, not at the beginning, you have said that I have done my work on G.S.
Right.
and Beladi, Professor Beladi, who was the professor and head, founder head of the Department of Sociology in Calcutta University. So she was there, and she influenced me very much. Actually, she influenced me in taking up the subject of Professor G.S. Ghurye as sociologist. And so, if you ask me who else,
Okay.
I would say Professor Kumar, Professor G.S. Ghurye.
G.S. Ghurye.
G.S. Ghurye.
Okay.
And so it was due to the influence of Professor Bela Dattagupta that I became interested in G.S. Ghurye. And you know, Ghurye has written dozens and dozens of books
Yes.
on any subject
Yeah.
under the world, you can say.
Right.
From Shakespeare to sadhus,
Right.
from Vedas in India
To tribes.
to analysis of the very contemporary situation. His trilogy in political sociology. So that was so when I decided to take Professor G.S. Ghurye as my area of study, I for the first 6 months I went through all the works of Professor G.S. Ghurye, many of which are not available here. I made it a point to make those things available. Most of these books were published by Popular Prakashan, and these were very much, I came into contact with them. And it was after 6 months of initial studying of Professor G.S. Ghurye, his works, his books, and sort of first-hand write-up of my synopsis project, I decided to go to Bombay and interview Professor G.S.
That's excellent.
Beladi helped me very much in this respect. At that time, the Professor G.S. Ghurye had already retired at that time.
Okay.
He was born in 1895, so he was quite senior in that respect. So he had retired. Professor Dhirendra Narayan was the head of the department, professor head of the Department of Sociology, Bombay University. I contacted him, and in those days there was no telephone,
no internet,
mobile and nothing like that. So it was all postal type of communication. So that was how I stayed there for more than a month.
Okay.
And I went to Professor G.S. Ghurye. Before going to Bombay, I had made a communication with him. So he consented to meet me. So that was how I went there and interviewed Professor G.S. Ghurye for 4 or 5 days at his stretch.
Okay.
For 4 or 5 days.
Quite incredible.
Yes. And while I was staying at the Kadina campus of Bombay University, I met accidentally, I should say, quite a few renowned sociologists, most important of which was Professor M.N. Srinivas.
Oh, okay.
M.N. Srinivas, for some other business maybe that he visited Bombay University, so I could meet him. And you know, Professor M.N. Srinivas not only a stalwart in the discipline of sociology, but he was the first student of Professor G.S. Ghurye.
Yes.
Srinivas had accepted that G.S. Ghurye also. I had a detailed discussion with Professor M.N. Srinivas regarding the time, the type of etc. And incidentally, while I was staying there, I met Professor A.R. Desai also.
Good.
They were students of all of them.
Yeah.
I had a talk with Professor I.P. Desai, another stalwart in the, all connected with, they are all the research students of G.S. Ghurye. And apart from using the library of
literary sources.
Library of the
Bombay University.
Bombay University, where many of the available data were available there. And Professor Dhirendra Narayan, who was the professor and head of the Department of Sociology at that point of time, he was very much cooperative, and so that was how I could do it. I will mention another interesting thing. When I met Professor G.S. Ghurye, before he opened up himself, he asked me, Professor Pramanik, I would like to ask you one thing. Why have you been interested in me?
Okay.
Why me? I don't remember what I said, but this much I remember, that whatever I said satisfied him.
Okay.
And he opened up, told me many things, internal dynamics of the thing, the relational aspect. Another interesting thing is that, coming back to the Department of Sociology, Bombay University, the working professors were very much surprised that Professor G.S. Ghurye has agreed to meet me and give me an interview. Because whoever has the Indian Sociological Society bulletin has also published a number of articles on Professor G.S. Ghurye. He was not a very friendly person in that sense. Was very much argumentative, and his personality type was that either I'm 100% in favor of you or
against you.
100% against you.
Quite interesting.
Some of his contemporaries has identified him as a cantankerous personality.
Okay.
But apart from that, Professor G.S. Ghurye was in the department after the Professor Geddes.
Patrick Geddes.
Patrick Geddes was there in the department. He was the founder member. And Ghurye took charge in 1924 of the Department of Sociology, Bombay University. And he retired, if I am not wrong, in the year 1959 or 60.
Long.
For this long, more than 3 decades, he built up not only the Department of Sociology, Bombay University, but I should say sociological tradition in India. Whatever sociological institutionalization has occurred today, it was for a single-handed, I should say. K.M. Kapadia was a very close student of G.S. Ghurye. It was a single-handed effort on the part of this area. And incidentally, this Indian Sociological Society and the Sociological Bulletin, which is the only spokesperson of the profession, these were both the Indian Sociological Society and the Sociological. These were established, founded by Professor G.S. Ghurye, and the initial decade of Indian Sociological Society and the Sociological Bulletin was located in University of Sociology Department of Bombay University. Bombay University. It was only after a decade, in the mid-1960s, that it was transferred from there to other things. So that was how.
Okay. Now, since Professor Ghurye had a theoretical inclination towards Indiology, since you have discussed on him, did you support his theoretical inclination, or your theoretical inclination was slightly different from what Professor Ghurye?
To be very frank, Ghurye's opinion were very extreme type of things.
Okay.
Hindutva, Brahminism, these were his cup of tea. I do not agree with that.
Okay.
But apart from that, his inclination to interpret things in terms of Brahminical Hinduism, the the explanation of Indian society over decades, over centuries, the evolutionary character, that has made Ghurye very much historical in its importance.
Okay.
For example, the evolution of the system of caste, institution of caste, the whole scale of evolution from Indo-Aryanism to from Indo-European to Indo-Aryan, and the later developments, these have all been very much
Okay.
aptly analyzed by Professor G.S. Ghurye, and his analysis is accepted as authentic even now. So, but there are other the nuances which are there. I have said that so many things can be a part of sociological thinking. And it was Ghurye's insight which interested him to delve deep into those issues and write books on that.
Okay.
For example, Kinsey, sex studies, Shakespeare, or Indian sadhus, or architectural pattern and social thinking behind that type of architectural development in India.
Yes.
I mean, he was very much unconventional
Exactly.
in identifying the areas which can be a legitimate topic of analysis
For
in
sociology.
sociology.
Yes.
I would say that Ghurye was a pathfinder in this respect. He was a pathfinder in this respect. Though I do not agree with some of his extreme views regarding Hindu and Hindutva or Brahminism, but these are the areas. Again, Thirindanarayan has said one thing about Ghurye, that Ghurye had a tradition of expanding the horizon of sociology all over India. And at that time in Bombay, sociology could be done not merely through regular classes, but it could be done through submission of papers also.
Yes.
And I don't know whether you know that M.N. Srinivas, for example,
he wrote a thesis.
He did his MA by submitting his research paper, not taking classes.
1,000 pages.
One advantage of this is that you need not be located in the area in Bombay, so you can very much stay back in your own place, in your home state, and do the work.
Yes.
And Ghurye took advantage of this situation. Students coming from various parts of India, and Ghurye encouraged them, and he gave them the topic which was a locally relevant topic, collecting data from local sources, from the area where the student is situated or located, and then only. So, I mean, through this type of approach, Ghurye gave his sociology an all India character. Though he was located in Bombay, the all India character of sociology as it has developed now was very much initially founded by J.S. Ghurye. And these are all his seminal contributions.
Right. Now, as you developed professionally over the years, writing, researching, did any theoretical band of argument drew your attention the most? Any particular sociological theorizing, you are drawn mostly to that particular kind of argument?
Personally speaking, I was more interested in traditional sociological thinkers, first generation sociologists, I would say, like Ghurye was a part of that first generation sociologist, or apart from Ghurye there was D.P. Mukherjee or Radha Kumar Mukherjee, and so these were the persons who were working in Lucknow, and you know there was a sort of clash between the Lucknow School of Sociology and the Bombay School of Sociology right from the beginning, because the way Bombay School of Sociology was being developed by Professor G.S. Ghurye, and the way the stalwarts operated in Lucknow, particularly the Jyoti Prasad Mukherjee, this is quite different.
Yeah.
But I was more in tune with D.P. Mukherjee.
Okay. Were you a Marxist?
Yes. D.P. Mukherjee characterized himself,
Marxologist.
yes, not as a Marxist but as a Marxologist.
Okay.
And you know the difference between the two.
Yes.
Though sociology as it has developed in India today has been on the line which has initially identified by Professor G.S. Ghurye. There is a Western brand of sociology. That is how it has worked today. It is still working now, and that was the contribution of Professor G.S. Ghurye. Not so much the Lucknow school, but personally speaking, the relational aspect which the Lucknow school dealt with very differently. I'm more inclined in favor of that.
Okay, great. Now let me come back to the distinctly different issue of regional location and your particularly teaching experience. Now, how do you locate the specific context in which you were developing or teaching or researching in Kolkata? Your Kolkata experience to be more specific.
Yes. You see, as I told you, sociology was not there when we started.
Right.
It was in political science, the paper, the special paper on sociology. In Calcutta University, the sociology department was first started in the year 1978.
Okay.
I mean, the session was 1977-79.
Okay.
Before that, Professor Bela Dutta was in the Department of Political Science.
Political science. Okay.
And there was a UGC visit, and the UGC team approved the formation of the department, separate department of sociology, and they made a specific recommendation that the lady who is teaching political science in the department who is teaching sociology in the Department of Political Science should be transferred to the Department of Sociology after it is established.
Quite interesting.
So, Beladi was the founder head of the department.
Right.
And Beladi had not only in Western, she was in London School of Economics, MA. So, not only that type of training, but she had an all India connection also with the sociological world.
Yes. I know she was my teacher. She taught us a paper also.
Yes.
Western Sociological Thought. Now, was your experience in Kolkata different from other regions in India?
I should say that our sociology department was one of the first to be introduced in West Bengal. I told you that only Calcutta University was another department. And we started from the scratch because there was no undergraduate college where sociology was being taught. Only political science was being taught. And I should not speak about myself, but right from the beginning I was somehow connected with educational administration also in Calcutta University. All along I was a member of the Senate and Syndicate of Calcutta University, which was a policy formulating body. So there I took advantage of the situation, and Calcutta University took a decision to introduce sociology at undergraduate level in different colleges. I played my minor role, whatever role I had, because I was a member of the academic administration also, apart from being associated with the Department of Sociology. So that way, the subject started expanding from the mid-80s.
Now, since you didn't have students from with sociology background, what kind of students you initially received when they came to study sociology for masters?
I should say that initially it was interdisciplinary,
Okay.
because during the first several years of the foundation of the department, there was no undergraduate sociology paper.
Yeah, I also did political science honors.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we received students from political science, from economics,
Philosophy also.
from philosophy, a host of from anthropology, host of other disciplines, and I think that that was for the good of the discipline, because
Yeah.
sociology should have an interdisciplinary character.
Right.
I'm not saying that introducing sociology at the undergraduate level worked against the interest of sociology, but the first several years, the batches, the types of students which you were
Okay.
having a wide interdisciplinary known character, I mean, that benefited the department, that benefited the discipline.
Okay. Now, what
And
kind of
you are a testimony
Yeah,
of that
yeah.
situation.
What kind of courses you offered when you were asked to teach in Calcutta University? What kind of courses you offered?
All along, I have taught Indian Sociological Society,
Okay.
Indian Sociology, Indian Society.
Mm-hmm.
I should Indian social structure,
Okay.
and sociological thinkers.
Okay.
So
But you
these-
taught us a paper on rural sociology.
Yes,
That also
that was a special paper group.
the special paper group.
That was a special paper group. Rural
Right.
and urban sociology was special paper.
Right.
And I initially taught rural sociology, then I switched over to urban sociology.
Oh, you switched over to urban sociology also.
Yes.
So both rural and urban expertise. Now,
Because rural
yeah,
sociology was very much connected with Indian social structure, very
Right.
much.
Right.
Uh,
Now, what that kind of teaching rural, urban, Indian social structure, Indian society, Indian sociology, did that kind of understanding, enhanced your understanding of Indian society and Indian sociology?
Sure.
How actually,
Sure.
if you could elaborate and tell us, our students, how actually that kind of multidisciplinary teaching enhanced your own understanding of Indian society and
You
sociology?
see, one thinker about whom I was very much interested right from the beginning was M.N. Srinivas. And you know it very much.
Yeah.
Srinivas was so much lucid
Right.
and so much, I should say, introspective,
Mm-hmm.
analytical, that one cannot stop reading Srinivas after he starts Srinivas's books. So that was how I became interested. I made my students interested also
Right.
in that area. So the Masters of Sociology, A.R. Desai, another excellent book, Rural Sociology in India.
Right.
So these are the textbooks which I refer to the students, and along with the students I read it also. I should say that during the initial years, I was very much learning while teaching. It was a teaching learning process.
Okay.
Because when you were students,
Yeah.
I was a young teacher in that respect.
Right.
So I was also familiarizing myself with the discipline while teaching it.
But you were a very popular teacher at that point of time. I
Yes.
remember the way you attended seriously, taking classes, and we are very serious about what kind of thing. And you could easily explain what actually we could understand. And I still remember you taught me a paper on leadership. Taught us a paper on rural leadership. How actually there is a transformation of leadership from this and that variety. And
There was a part of rural sociology.
yeah, there is a part of rural sociology,
Yes.
leadership, and I still remember when I set for JNU entrance exam, I wrote a part of that because you in the paper and in the topic on leadership, you provided a trajectory of the changing patterns of leadership in India.
Right.
Probably you have been influenced by Srinivas,
Yes.
Kumar and many other thinkers that probably enhanced your understanding of how actually, and in fact you
I should
experienced the
mention
panchayat
another-
also.
I should mention another thing. When I was attached to the Department of Political Science in Bardhaman University, I was there in political science before joining Calcutta University as a
Yes.
full-time teacher. I attended one summer institute in political science in Pune.
Okay.
It was a 6 weeks course on summer institute, and organized by Professor B.M. Sitseekar.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Sitseekar.
Mm-hmm.
Behavioral studies in political science. So behavioralism. And many things which I read there, the communication school and Cardush and people like them. These are not a part of our syllabus in Calcutta University.
Okay.
In Calcutta University, the latest thing which we read in political science was Lesky. Harold Lesky, Grammar of Politics.
Right.
Or MacIver, A Modern State.
Right.
They stopped writing in the 1930s.
Yes.
So that was the latest which we read.
Okay.
In sociology, when it was a part of political science as a special paper, the latest thinker about whom we studied was VC. You know?
Yeah, one VC.
One VC and his relational school.
Right. Right.
Today you ask any student, he has not even heard the name of VC.
Yeah. Right. Right. It could be.
What I want to say is that sociology or political science, the syllabus which was there was very much old tradition. They were not receptive to the changes. So whatever we learned later on, not as a part of our academic orientation, but later on, subsequently we had to, and we made our syllabus accordingly.
Okay.
So the syllabus which we introduced, which we formulated at the beginning and started changing from time to time, was there. It was not connected with what we read in sociology and political science as students, but we made it up to date.
Yes.
Up to date, and in tune with the all India character of the developments in sociology.
Okay. Now let me come back to your research concerns and disciplinary issues. You have already told us about your work on G.S. Ghurye. Now, could you reflect on the other kind of research that you have done and writing that you have done?
Yes. More than a dozen students have done their PhD work under my guidance, and they have done it not only on some sociological thinker, but also the various aspects of Indian society, the changes which are occurring in those aspects. So these are the areas. If you ask me what made you interested, in which area of sociology you were more interested, I would say Indian social structure.
Okay.
And the various manifestations of that.
Okay. But you also worked on panchayat. You worked on the anthropological issues of Indian tribes.
Yes. These are all part of that
Indian social structure.
Yes.
Now, contemporary phases, we often ask and debate about locating the old issues with a new sort of fashion, and often we say that we need to revisit certain things again. Do you think at this age that we need to look back into those issues again and bring back those issues again in your agenda of sociological discourses?
Yes.
Could you identify
that is a must.
That is a
That
must.
is a must. Sociology has changed a whole world. I mean, there is a revolutionary change in the in the orientations of sociology in recent times.
Right. Right.
If you attend any sociological association meeting, and the areas which are the papers which are submitted there, you will find that, and also the International Sociological Association meeting.
Yes.
I mean, everything is under the scanner of sociology. Everything. So sociology has become quite universalistic in its orientation that way.
Okay.
But this is a world apart from how sociology was developed initially by our founding fathers. Because they interested themselves in relational studies, in the basic aspect of interhuman relation, and how that is changing. So we should not lose sight of that fundamental aspect of sociology, which was the work of our founding fathers.
Okay. Now, from whatever you have said right now, let me pick up another agenda. We often talk of older versions of sociological theory, structural functionalism, conflict theory, and then often talk about the recent innovations in sociological theorizing, including structuralism, post-structuralism, so on and so forth. Now, how do you look into this kind of theorizing, old and new? I mean, do you think one should balance between these two, or one should concentrate more on the recent versions and could ignore the older arguments?
No, it should be balancing.
Okay.
It should be balancing. For example, the latest thing which my teaching career has also stopped 2 decades back. So at that point of time, modernization, not so much globalization, was the most recent topic which we taught.
Right.
There was no talk about globalization at that point of time.
Right.
It was only from the first decade of the 21st century that globalization has become a major issue. So host of new areas have developed.
Okay.
And they have considerably expanded the horizon of sociology, and that is for good. That is for good. But then the basic aspect of sociology, how the basic questions which are and which were discussed by our founding fathers, we should not lose sight of that.
Okay.
We should not lose sight of that. So it should, as I rightly said, that it should be a balancing between the old approach and the latest approaches.
Yeah. Now, since you are a very pretty senior sociologist, and you also refer to D.P. Mukherjee, who was a Marxologist, how do you look into the question of relevance of Marxist sociology today in the contemporary world?
You see, while talking about G.S. Ghurye, I said that the way sociology has developed in India, in the fashion which was designed by Professor G.S. Ghurye. Fashion is a very odd term, but in the way it was designed by Professor G.S. Ghurye was Western sociology. And in Western sociology, Marxism was a very, a marginalized area of study.
Yes.
It didn't constitute core area of sociology.
Right.
In spite of the fact that Bottomer, for example, this classic book in Marxist Sociology is there, but the core area is not Marxist sociology, Marxist approach, but it was anti-Marxist in orientation, and it has now been developed in that fashion today in India. So I do not think that, and particularly this trend has become very clear after the fall of Soviet Union and after the end of bipolarism in politics. So it is very much unipolar, and the concerns of sociologists today are very much in line with how sociology is taught in the Western countries today. It's not Marxist sociology. It's not Marxist sociology.
But if you read Ramkrishna Mukherjee, he was arguing that, from his experience of village studies in particular, that the conflict model is still relevant in understanding even the impact of globalization.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So probably one can find relevance of Marxian ideas of dialectics, about the role of productive economic changes that is taking place throughout the world.
Yes.
And the dimension of conflict that one could see in social movements, either whether it is peasant movement or other kinds of movements. So, how do you reflect on that that is happening around the world?
Yes, this is not Marxist sociology in that sense of the term.
Right.
But conflict, sociological issues being discussed in terms of conflict, in terms of dialectics, in terms of the interest of various classes. So that is there. That constitute a very much area, an approved area of sociology today.
Okay.
But this is not Marxist sociologist in the sense that the classical Marxian approach or analysis is not followed. It is multi type of orientation.
Some transformation did take place, and even the contemporary Marxists also argue in different fashion.
Yes.
And they argue that one has to make Marxism relevant only by arguing in this fashion. Anyway, let me now come back to your role in institution building. We all know that you played a major role in popularizing sociology under Calcutta University, and when you were there Vice Chancellor of Vidyasagar University, you also opened, in all colleges sociology was open under your leadership. Now, I will come to this, but let me begin with your attachment with Indian Sociological Society first.
You see, I became interested in Indian Sociological Society right from the beginning, in the sense that it was G.S. Ghurye's interest in Indian Sociological Society, and I used to attend Indian Sociological Society right from the early days.
Okay.
Right from the early days. But it was, by early days, I do not mean the 60s and 70s of the previous century, but the 80s.
Okay, 80s.
When I became a member of Indian Sociological Society.
Could you remember the first conference you attended?
I do not remember. Maybe that it was in Lucknow.
Lucknow, okay.
It was in Lucknow. Or it was in Meerut.
It could be in Meerut, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it could be in
It was
Meerut.
in Meerut.
Right.
And I attended one international
Chauhan probably, Vijrat Chauhan probably organized.
Yes, B.R. Chauhan.
B.R. Chauhan, yes.
Was there.
He was also my teacher at JNU.
Is it?
Initially, for certain months.
But at that point of time, B.R. Chauhan was in...
He was in Meerut.
Meerut University.
Yeah, after that he went for 6 months, he was a visiting fellow there.
His daughter...
Abha Chauhan is...
Abha Chauhan, she has also retired now, no?
No. She has joined Himachal University after leaving Jammu University. She is still teaching. She is still teaching. So, today we often...
So we at the beginning of my career, I used to attend every sociological association meeting. And my live membership number is 696.
Okay.
That means that initial years.
Right.
Now it is perhaps more than 4,000 members.
More than 5,500.
More than 5,500.
Yes.
So you can easily imagine how Indian Sociological Society has developed.
In fact, since I was dealing with this membership for quite a long time at ISS, we have very few members within 1,000. Very few within 500. So you were 600, so it's quite lucky that you are still here and we are able to interview.
I'm part of the receding generation.
Yeah. It's quite good for us. So, do you think that as a body, ISS needs to be strengthened and organized more in order to carry out research and in order to reflect the views of sociologists?
Yes, that is true. That is true because Indian sociologists need a platform, and that platform is the Sociological Society. But you see what has happened, that initially it was a very closely organized, close-knit type of organization.
Right.
Now it has expanded so much.
Yeah, around 6,000 members.
Interests are so diversified. The various, what is that mechanism through which
election process?
No election.
Managing committee membership?
No, various
research committees.
Research committee, RC.
Yeah, RC,
Yes.
research committees.
There is an n number of RCs today.
Yeah, nearly 30 RCs.
Yes. And these research committees is true, is a good development.
Yes.
So Indian Sociological Society is there, it should be there. But along with that, we should have a regional sociological association also.
Yes.
It should be a type of federating relationship between the regional sociological association and the Indian Sociological Association. As far as West Bengal is concerned, we have not done much in developing this West Bengal Sociological Society.
Mhm.
Though I was again one of the founder members, I was the president of
Right.
the beginning. But subsequently, because of various developments, it is not working so successfully nowadays.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it needs to be strengthened.
Okay. Now, do you have any words of caution or suggestion for Indian Sociological Society?
Nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Okay.
But it should be functional. It should be
Mhm.
functional. It should have a live contact with the interests of sociologists, and it should play a part in reorienting the discipline, the syllabus, etc.
Mhm.
Because that is the best organization to remodel the syllabus of sociology in various universities. That's not being done perhaps by Indian Sociological Society nowadays.
Okay.
But the Sociological Bulletin
Mhm.
is the only mouthpiece of
Mhm.
sociologists in India.
Mhm.
That continues to be.
There are other one also.
And
There are two journals.
Yes.
One is Hindi, one is e-journal. E-exploration, that is also started.
No, but apart from Sociological Bulletin, there is another professional journal.
There are two more. One is a Hindi journal, Samaj Shamika. The other is e-exploration. That is also done by Indian Sociological Society.
Oh.
Okay, these are two journals, and these are all care listed, UGC care listed journal. And another thing that the current president has started is to revisionate, research committees involving senior persons, and serious theoretically and research-oriented persons in the activities of RC, because the main strength of RC, as we understand, is of sociological society is the RC research committees. From there, actually, one has to do research, and this
The
conversation.
other positive change which has occurred is the communication mode.
Yes.
Earlier it was only postal communication.
Right.
Now it is electronic communication.
Right.
And so it's now easier. For example, today I have come to know the latest books which have been written and published by some sociologists, because there is you get all the message through WhatsApp.
Right.
So
Right.
and this is another way in which Sociological Society has started establishing live contact with its members.
Right.
Instead of depending on the postal communication only.
Right. Now, one information that I may pass you, instead of doing certain things centralized way, currently the Professor Chaudhary has decided to decentralize. You have argued for regionalization.
Yes.
And one university in Bengal is given the responsibility to organize a workshop. Normally it is done before a conference in a centralized place, but now these workshops will be held throughout the country, so that more and more people at the local level can participate and take part in the discussion. So this has started. Now,
I'm not quite in live touch with these developments because I'm retired.
Yeah, President do writes after everything sort of thing, and mail
Yes.
does reach our locations. So this is something that we need to communicate with you, and we need to tell you all. Now, the last question from this section is that what do you suggest to sociologists, younger sociologists, to remain critical, to remain relevant, and to remain rooted? What kind of suggestion will be suggesting to younger sociologists? Yeah,
All the
critical, and then relevant and rooted at the same time.
Yes.
How actually?
It should be rooted.
Yeah.
First of all, it should be rooted.
Right.
And this critical dimension is not there. It is not there among the Indian sociologists today. They are so much concerned with whatever is accepting this fact, accepting them as fact. So, but this critical orientation should be there.
Okay, but some articles which are written in bulletin, if you read them, they really reflect the critical aptitude of many sort of things. And sociologists, young sociologists are writing
They are doing this.
some of them.
They are doing this.
Now, what would be your advice to young sociologists of the country? Any advice that you would like to do?
To make themselves rooted,
Oh yeah.
to make themselves responsive to whatever is happening around, And you see, one advantage which sociology gives you is to widen your perspective, so that you are not confined only within the narrow discipline of sociology, but a wider sociological outlook, so that you can employ this method in the analysis of whatever is happening around, happening around.
Okay.
So, as I told you that my friends suggested to me that there is a sociology of international relations.
Right.
So there can be a sociological analysis of everything around you.
Yeah.
So be responsive, be critical,
Right.
and be alert, so that you can be in the situation which is confronted by you in your day-to-day life.
Okay. The last issue that we would like to know is that artificial intelligence has penetrated deeply into our discourses, teaching, researching, many things. Now, what kind of direction sociological research and sociological teaching is going to take place because of these interventions? What is your anticipation?
You see, I'm not very much familiar with what is meant by AI. I attended a number of workshops connected with AI, but still I'm confused regarding what is the implication of AI in our day-to-day life. For example, if you ask a question, the AI will give you a whole lot of information regarding this.
Right.
So there has been an information flood, which works against, I think, your critical mind.
Okay.
Too much of information.
Too much of information. Is it also a caution for the younger sociologists?
Yeah, I am somewhat critical about these things.
Okay.
For example, the
ChatGPT. You
ask any question,
immediately replies.
you get an answer.
Okay.
Answer may not be relevant.
Yeah.
May not be up to date.
May not be
You get
true
an
also.
answer.
Might not be true also.
But that has made our young generation anti-literary, they have developed anti-literary orientation among them.
They don't read
They have
books.
stopped visiting libraries.
Okay.
They have stopped reading books, and they are only dependent on this type of
Devices.
That is working against
Okay.
the interest of the discipline. Not too much of information, but information should be built by you,
Right.
not a critical, on automatic routine acceptance of whatever is stated by the
Right.
mobile, the AI or
Right.
ChatGPT, and accepting it as a fait accompli situation. That is doing harm for.
Right. Okay, we have had discussion for almost an hour. I'm really thankful to my esteemed teacher, Professor Swapan Kumar Pramanik, for sharing his valuable time. At his so old age, he has agreed to share his ideas, and he also has a bit of advice for the younger generation to be rooted, to be critical, and to also remain relevant, and to go to library and read books and do research very seriously. Thank you very much.
Reading books has become an outdated fashion nowadays.
Obsession. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for giving us time. We are making it.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity for expressing my opinion.
Okay.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much.